So there was a recent tweet by a guy named Marius Heyer, excuse me if I'm pronouncing it wrong, that has gained quite a lot of popularity lately. He basically made a tool that tells you what's the best USB port to plug your mouse in for the lowest latency possible. And to be 100% clear, this is not something new that you wouldn't be able to determine without that specific tool, but it definitely makes the process a lot easier. Now, you've probably seen a lot of YouTube tweakers talking about this for the past 101 years, but the problem is, we have no real input latency benchmarks, like at all. So, is it true? Can simply switching to another USB port really fix your input lag? Well, in theory it could help, but by the end of this video, we'll find out if that really is the case. And here's a quick explanation of why this might work before we begin. So in my case, with an X870 chipset motherboard, here's how the connection between my mouse and the CPU would look like. This is because both my CPU and motherboard actually support direct-to-CPU USB ports. And if that wasn't the case, it would have to do an extra hop through the chipset, therefore potentially adding more latency. Notice how I said potentially, because it's for a reason. An extra hop shouldn't even get close to adding any latency you could actually feel, believe it or not, even if YouTubers try to make it sound like it's a game changer. Either way, this is based on assumptions at the moment, and we'll get to the test soon. In the meantime, I wanted to show you how to actually find your direct-to-CPU port in less than 10 seconds. Simply open PowerShell and write the command shown on the screen. And to make it easier for you, I also left it in the video description so you can copy it from there. Once you do this, you should be able to see this list. It basically pulls all of your USB devices and tells you which ports are they connected to. Just keep in mind that if you have an Intel processor, this wouldn't really matter for you since they don't have a port that's direct to the CPU. You can clearly tell by looking at the block diagram on the left side, there's no USB controller on the chip itself, unlike the AM5 on the right side. This also applies to all other Intel CPUs regardless of the motherboard you have. All you have to do now is open the tool and check which port your mouse is plugged into, and if it's not CPU direct, go ahead and plug it into another one until you find it. And if you prefer to manually do that, you can check your motherboard manual by searching for back panel, which will take you right to the section we need. I also ran some extensive latency tests to make sure every single USB port was tested, including red, blue, black, and all of the front panel ports. And just quickly, if you're looking to get your PC fully optimized from A to Z directly by us, we're here to help. Whether you're gaming, streaming, or struggling with input lag or FPS issues, check us out at framesynclabs.com. By booking a session, you'll also be entered into our giveaway, which ends on 5th of January. But with all of this being said, let's see the input latency benchmarks. I've only tested it in one game, which is Valorant, simply because it wouldn't make a difference whether we test it in more games or not, as it's hardware related. And just as you might have guessed it, the difference was in the microseconds. So what does that mean for you? Well, absolutely nothing. If going from a 1000 Hz to 8000 Hz mouse is already considered a gimmick, then switching from one USB port to another would make even less of a difference. But there's always a but. If you're min-maxing your PC, then using the right USB port could be a small win in the long run. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.